I'm unmuted. All right, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning in some places. This is going to be our Support Central 4.0 webinar, and this is going to be me showing you a lot of stuff that's in the product, give you a little idea of what's coming in the product, give you a little idea on some other things. So what we're going to do is begin with our little slideshow and how to get the best results from your new BOSS Support Central. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you an idea how to take advantage of the features and the capabilities to get better results. We're going to show you how to drive the service catalog for your end users to get a better experience that hopefully will improve their satisfaction. I'll discuss and go over how to get on the new BOSS Support Central. I missed that in the slide. It should say migrate, not upgrade, because it's not an upgrade. It is a migration. And of course, we will have a Q&A at the end. As everyone should know, in mine, you will be muted during the webinar. You will need to submit questions via the questions window, not the chat window. I just blocked the chat window just for that. So you guys would all put them in the right location. This is being recorded and it will be out on our website. And you will receive a survey after this is all over. So 5 stars across the board for Chris. So before we get started, they want me to, of course, talk about the users conference that's coming up in May. Some of you have been to it, some of you have not. This year could be a good year to start that if you haven't. We are going to go over the entire product. We hope to have some new pieces added to the product before this happens, so we'll have more to discuss and go through and how to set things up. So you can see what the agenda is, what we're going to go through and everything in the 3 days that we go through this nice little conference. So if you guys want to join, there's the link down below. I'll show it again at the end of the webinar itself. Just a side note, we will be going to the Braves game at the new SunTrust Park. If you're a Cubs fan, like one of the guys on this call, you can wear your Cubs gears and be all happy because you can see the Cubs play the Braves. So we're going to go ahead and begin now. So what I'm going to do for those of you that have not seen it, we're going to show it in just a second. Mobile app. There is a mobile app. It is released. It is on Google's Play Store for Android. It is on Apple's store for your iPhones and your iPads. This is what it looks like. If you download any of the other ones, they will not work with this. So anybody that already has the product, you can download and install BOSS Support Central's mobile app, which will access both mobile assets and your tickets. So here we go. So here's the product. A lot of you I know already have this installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just go into the service catalog, the new features, how you might consider setting this up, and we'll go away with questions from there. I'm not going to go piece by piece like it's a demo because this is not a demo. I want you to get full use of this time. So the thing you need to do to go live with this product now, one would be to get it installed. So what do I need? I need a test server to install on. So we can install the product for you guys. I can help configure things up, and we can go through what we're fixing to go through in more depth and hopefully help you get live on this a little quicker. But one thing you're going to need to do is you need to differentiate between ticket types and categories, and then service catalog categories and service catalog. So what you want to do with this is ticket types and categories are your buckets for your tickets. So as a technician, you're going to drive where these are, just like you currently do. However, service catalog categories are where you're going to drive your end users to go to. And then the service catalog is going to be forms, custom forms, that you create yourself in these individual categories for your end users to choose from. Now, I know we had discussed that BOSS was going to create the forms for you. You would import them, and then away you would go, and there would be charges associated with that. Well, they changed it up. We have the form builder inside the product for you, so you will be able to build your own forms on the fly. And then you will say who can see them and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of go through this. What I want you to see is what an end user sees. So this is an end user logging in. They can see my tickets, which is their own tickets. Watch tickets, I'll go more in depth on that, what that is, but you can add any user in the system to a ticket to be watched. So they would be able to see, read notes on it, and also would be able to receive notifications on it. New ticket is where they would create a ticket. Now, we can suppress this so you cannot see this. That would drive them to go to the service catalog. That's what I would like for most customers to do because it makes a little more sense. So you get to build what catalog categories you want them to see. And you can have more than this because you can give individual groups like HR. You might give them access to the HR category in all those forms, but not all users. So you can say who can see what. And then for them to fill out a form, all they have to do is click on the category. You can put a nice little picture in there so it kind of helps them decide which is the correct form to fill out, and they'll click request. You will put notes in here for them so you can actually put instructions into your form on what you want filled out. And you'll notice I have a drop-down list in here. We want notes here. I can have check boxes in here. So a lot of you know these as custom fields in your current system. So these are custom fields just for the forms. They do not go into the tickets. All the information will go into the ticket, but these are not custom fields inside your ticketing system. So that's another differentiator for you. Now, if you had a custom field called location for all tickets, then in routing, I could actually take whatever they chose here and set it inside the ticket. So we'll go ahead and create this ticket so you can kind of see what it looks like. So all those little fields that were in that form all can go right in here. So they don't go inside the ticket or set inside of it. It's just in the description of the ticket. Now, can I take this information and route off of it or set it inside the ticket? Yes, we can do that within the routing rules. So this is where you need to start deciding as a whole IT team how we would want to go about setting up an end user's experience. So that end user's experience is going to be done with the service catalog categories and catalog. So let's go and look, how do we create a form? So you get to name it, turn it on. The category, these are the categories for the end users. So where you're going to place it. Choose a file. We actually have some icons, so you can actually get those icons. I'll send you a zip file. You can put it on your own PC. It doesn't need to go on the server or anything, and you can upload an image. You could take a picture of yourself and upload that image if you want. Short description, that was the instructions. So this is the instructions you want to set up for your end users. And then below, all users and selected groups. So when we import by department or security groups or locations, whatever you're entering in your Active Directory, we can import that way. And then you could say it's going to go to the IT group or the HR group only. Then you can auto assign what category or subcategory you're going to design to set this up. And then you're also going to say, is it an incident? Is it a request? What type of a ticket is this? Now that's just setting it up and routing, kind of a little pre-route that you're doing to this. Down here is where you actually build the form. Now building the form, you cannot build the form in IE11. IE11 does not support the controls. Sorry guys, Microsoft's not updating it, so we can't support their old controls either. We do have it where it'll work in Edge, it'll work in Chrome, Firefox, Safari. Yes, your end users can still use IE11 to create a ticket. It just cannot be in compatibility view mode. Okay, that's all there is to that. So let's go ahead and build a form. So what you want to do is ask who, what, where, and when, why. You know, what do we need to know from an end user if I got a call, if I got an email, and that's how you might create like a generic help desk form. And all you do is drag what you want in there, name it. Is it going to be required on the form itself? Yes. And can this be used in routing? I'll show you why you may want to select that. So if you had a drop-down list and you had multiple selections and half of those selections needed to go to the IT team and the other half needed to go to the networking team, I literally can split this in a routing rule as to where this ticket's going to go based off that selection. So let's go take a look at one we've already created, just messing around. So facilities and maintenance. So I give them a little image, we name it. Didn't put any notes in this one. All they wanted to know was what the location was and put their details. Now you can go more in depth than this. So here's that label of location. It's a submit. You can route off of it. When you want something just a quarter of the way, choose quarter. If you want it the full, like for notes or something like that, you can do full. So you can actually build this according to the field widths. And then the drop down, you'll be able to sort them. You can add more, you can remove them, you can edit them. So no longer do you have to go to SQL to do this type of stuff. It's all inside the product. Then you just make those changes, scroll to the bottom and save it. So that's all there is to creating a form. Just so you know, I don't know if he's on this call or not. There was a hospital down in Savannah. Gave it to him on a Friday. Came back on Monday. He had created 54 or 56 forms over the weekend in a matter of an hour or two. And they're currently using the system live. Now, of course, they did not migrate any assets or tickets over. So those of you that want to migrate assets and tickets over, not a problem. We can do that. I advise against it. If you cannot do it, then don't do it. All right, so that's just discussing the service catalog and its categories. So how we want to drive the end users. But the differences for you guys are this. So you're going to set what types of tickets can be created. So what type of services do you do for your end users? So you might choose issue, requests, and you might choose other things that other departments might want to give you. Then you're going to set up categories. Now in your old version, a lot of you are used to the group, the category, then the subcategory. You no longer have to do that. You could just be at one level. So right now I could create a ticket against change management. I could create a ticket against facilities, even though it has subcategories. So there is no level to this. You can go as far down as you want. And like I have been advising most customers, stay as limited as possible. This is just for you. Your end users cannot see this. So you get to categorize how the tickets are going to go. So that's the biggest change in the product from 3.9.9 to 4.0 is how are we going to set this up? And then you have to ask yourself this. If I change my entire structure like most of you are doing, how am I going to migrate my tickets over? Well, do we want to put them all in one bucket? Or are we bringing your current categories and subcategories over? Or are we just bringing your subcategories over? Or are you just redesigning everything? So that will decide how and what we're going to migrate. Now, we can migrate everything. I don't have a lot of people wanting to do that now because, like I'm telling you, you will have a license for your old product, so you will be able to access it at any time during this transition. Now, routing, big changes here. So we're going to go edit this one. So you're going to name it, describe what's going on, set it up. You can add different condition groups. So in this case, I have service request. That means the form I created. So any of the forms can actually be routed, in this case, to a team called Facilities, because this is the Facilities team's form. Now I can add other actions and I can do other conditions. So source is like where it's coming from. Title and description, well, you could use keywords like computer or lights or whatever it is we're trying to route off of. Categories can be routed off of. Types, extended status. After hours people, we can even route off creation times to different people if that's needed. You can route off groups, so departments that we've imported. Is it a technician if you wanted to route? The service request is the forms. Now, if you create custom fields for all your tickets, they can be routed off of. So anything like I did for here in change management can be routed off of. And then service request form fields. So all the fields you're creating inside these forms that you check can be used in routing, can then also be routed off of. And then the actions completely change too. So then inside of a ticket, well, if I want to add a comment, close the ticket, delete the ticket, assign it, unassign it, send out emails to different people, different requesters, to whoever I want, and even set priority, extended status, category, types, and ticket custom fields. So all the custom fields I've created for the tickets, if I have a form that has one of their fields that kind of match one of these fields, that's what we're going to do. We're going to set this field. So if I needed to set software to be installed and we had that on the form, then I could copy and put it into the actual ticket for the technician, all off of a routing rule. Now, routing rules are off ticket creation only. This does not work for a ticket that's been updated. So its initial ticket creation is for your routing. Your SLA is what you're currently used to called workflow. We've just changed the name from workflow to SLA. That's all there is to that. And those are where you're going to set up your due dates. You're going to set up if it's not responded to within, if it's not resolved within, so you can match any or all conditions. So once again, you can set different conditions inside of here. And then this is where you would set your due dates. So resolve within 2 days, 4 days, 6 days, 8 days, 10 days. You don't have to have them all turned on. So this will set the date upon creation time for whatever you set here, whatever condition you set here. You don't have to set due dates. So you could say, you know, I don't want to set due dates. So, and then you set it yourself inside the ticket. So it just depends on what you want to do. It is based off priority right now. And you could define it by category and priority. So that's up to you how you want to set that up. Now, the new thing is when a ticket is not responded to in time, well, you have some proactive stuff and some reactive stuff here. So different timings as to when you can send these notifications or actually change who the technician is inside the workflow. And then not resolved means you hadn't resolved it in your SLA times that you're going to set up. And then you guys would then be more proactive or reactive based on the timing you've chose here. So that's where I basically have been leaving off everyone I have installed this for, is you need to whiteboard as a team your service catalog categories, your service catalog for your end user's experience, and then your categories and ticket types for your technician's experience. Those are the biggest changes inside the product. Now, have we added other things? Yeah, there's surveys right here. You get to create a survey with your own little questions and answers, send it out after every nth ticket, and its system takes care of it. We already have a report in here that will kind of show you, where's it at? Yeah, right here. little pie charts, on each question, and then the customer reviews. You'll see when it happened and what the responses were. So all that's already been designed in here. You will notice there's not a lot of reports in here currently. We are working on adding about 30 grid reports that will be for assets and tickets. So those pieces are being added currently right now. They will be added into the build. If we do not have a report from those reports, you have a custom report section. So these are some of the ones we're working on right now, like the asset aging report. And what we will do is we will write the report currently like we do now, but we will send it to you. You will go to Tools. You will go to Custom Reports. And if it's a current report that we're adjusting, you can override it. If it's a new report, you just choose the file and import it. And then that will add it into your custom report section right here. So any of your current reports that you're using now, if we can't derive it from any of the new ones, then yes, we will write a report for you, we will send it to you, and we will allow you to see this. So kind of all the changes that are going on, just so you know what's happening. Every Wednesday, today is Wednesday, we're going to be getting updates for the next month and a half to 2 months. So you will want to check updates. I'm no longer going to be emailing you links. Okay, so check for your updates on Wednesday. You will download it. You will run command prompt wherever the download is and follow the instructions to run your upgrade. Everyone that's done it has told me how easy it is themselves, so I feel everyone can do it themselves. So that's one change there too. Now for the site agent, which runs, it's there, which runs the actual async and inventories. Okay, this automatically updates itself, and how it does so, just so you know, this controller service is going to go out and check our website, and whenever we publish something inside the web portal, it will automatically upgrade itself. If you needed to push one, meaning you wanted to do it right now, you knew there was one out there, but it just got released right now, you could stop this service, which is the agent service, and then stop the controller service, and then restart them both, and it would upgrade in a matter of 30 seconds. Those of you having a problem logging in and the scheduling of the inventory right now, they're going to take the login to the controller to relieve some of the stress off of the service. So in about 2 days, there's going to be a new agent coming out, which fixes some of the bugs that we have found in the site agent itself. I already see a question on licensing, so I'm going to show you that anyway. So licensing is all done online now. Right here is my license generator. I'm not going to show it to you, but that's how I get to it. I edit your license, and I adjust any of these counts and give you rights to these different areas. So after you do an upgrade, what you will want to do is click Revalidate License, and any of the new features or any of these changes have been automatically added, will be added to your system. Guys, for service requests or the custom forms, you guys are licensed for 3 only. If you want more than that, you need to get in touch with me, and I will get with the sales people. And what they're going to do is, we were going to charge you to create them. Now they're just going to add it to your renewal cost. If you don't need more than 3, then you don't get any cost at all. If you only need 5, so that would be a +2, then we'll work with you and only charge you for the 2, so it's not, you can imagine, it's not going to go up much. If you want unlimited, there will be an unlimited, so that way you can get as many and create as many forms as you want. Somebody like a hospital will need that more than smaller entities, but larger entities may or may not. Custom reports, right now we're just putting it at 1 because we hadn't really written any reports for anybody. But as we start increasing them, if you tell me I got to write you 20, then we'll give you 20 licenses, no problem. You're not going to be held hostage or anything like that. So we're going to kind of drive around some things that you may want to use as a technician. The dashboard is your individual widget section. You add widgets by going to this plus. Anywhere you want to add something, you go to the plus over on the right-hand side. So what are widgets? They're SQL statements into your database. So I can see my open tickets, all open tickets, tickets created, overdue tickets, tickets assigned to a tech, tickets assigned to a team, anything I want, and they're interactive. So in this case, in this pie chart, I can't click on the pie chart and get there, but I could click on Ganesh's name, and then it'll automatically take me to those 2 tickets that I'm looking at. So I literally don't have to go to tickets anymore, and I can work out of these off of widgets to see any of the tickets I'm looking for. And as an administrator, that would allow you to do the same. You will be able to set all these on the fly for yourselves. And you'll also in the future be able to create your own widgets that's not there now. Don't ask me when it's going to be there. That's on the to-do list later on. We have a couple other to-dos that make more sense, and I'm going to discuss those now because they kind of tie in with routing, service catalog, and categories, and these categories and types. 2 more things will be added within the month into the help desk section, and that will be called approval boards and tasks. Okay, so tasks will replace child tickets, so no more parent-child tickets. Those go away. You will have tasks, so you will be able to create a task off of a ticket, and you will imagine a form can have multiple tasks associated to it. So those of you that were asking for a new hire form, you'll be able to create a new hire form and create multiple tasks or tickets off of that form. That's step 1 or phase 1 of tasks. Phase 2 will be task tendencies after that. So what will happen is you could say if task 1 is not created or completed, then task 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 don't even need to be created until task 1 is done. So that's task dependencies, and that's tasks. Those will be added later. Those are enhancements. So it's not something that has to be in a product right now. You all will get it. So just be patient with us on that. We're going to try to have the task pieces done before the user conference. And one more thing that ties with that we're going to try to have before the users conference is approvals. So you will have an approval board that you will set up. So some of these forms, like a hardware request, for instance, somebody requests a new computer, you could have it go to a list of people. They then will say whether or not it's approved, and then you can work on the ticket. Those are some other things that will be added that go along with the service catalog and your categories ticketing system. So I'm going to show you kind of what a ticket looks like, give you some little shortcuts on this stuff. So inside of here, this is an actual ticket. So you'll see all the description. If I want to add any notes to it, private, public. Public goes to the end user, private does not. If I just need to change the category, team, tech, priority, any of these fields on the fly, I can do so without adding any notes. If I want to add notes, I need to come down here and do that separately. Child tickets going away, so this will become tasks. So any task associated with it will be associated in this little tab. Any assets will be associated in this tab. If you want to create timesheets, you can do it in this tab. And then event logs is anything and everything done to the ticket. What they've done, you'll notice team change from support to network. So it shows everything that's being done to the system, and if you needed to get back, you'd have a way to do that. So that's what your ticket looks like. Here's where you add a watcher. Adding a watcher means those of you that have been saying, hey, I need to add more than one tech to a ticket. Well, you still can't add more than one tech to a ticket. you can assign one tech only, but you can add as many watchers as you want. So that if that's a technician, he or she could still see the ticket, work on the ticket, and receive notifications on the ticket, even though they're not assigned to it. So you can add anybody to a watcher, though. It doesn't have to be a technician. It might be the CEO. It might be the mayor. It might be a judge. It might be the head of facilities. You can add anyone as a watcher that's currently imported through Active Directory. Some cute little tricks. You'll notice I'm clicking my back arrow. That's because I want to get back to where I was. So it will actually hold a filter. And now I'm getting tired of clicking it. It'll actually hold a filter. So if I had something like urgent tickets on, so this is all urgent tickets, and I want to get back to the main screen, I can get out of there. So some little tricks for you. One thing, everyone loves this. You can now set auto refresh. You no longer have to refresh automatically. Set that. It'll automatically refresh the screen. Rows per page. Right now, you can only go up to 100. That's all they're going to allow in tickets. In assets, they are going to increase it to either 500 or 1,000 for larger entities. So that piece is on the to-do list. But I like to do 100 on. So now if I wanted to do 100 tickets at one time, I could bulk close them. Now, currently right now, this would close all 100 without any notes. I know that's going to be a problem. They're already working on adding the comment. So you will be required to add a comment to close all these tickets on the fly. You also now have a bulk edit. So if I need to change the category, check type, priority, extended status, or update a multitude of tickets with a comment, I can do that. And you'll notice the lock is there. So I can actually do this for technicians and for users, all in bulk. Don't worry about the delete. We have roles now that will not allow technicians to delete tickets, only administrators, if you set it up that way. So all technicians are going to be given roles, and you will decide what they can and cannot see inside the product. So just so you can see what that section is, we'll go to that. So here's a role. Here's a tech role I set up. So I gave them delete, change due date, edit, create. They can't view all tickets, but they can view their team's tickets and directly assign tickets. We are going to add one only assign tickets. So it bypasses the team. They won't be able to see team tickets. They only see tickets assigned to themselves. They'll have that request that's already going to be added. See, I can hide users, assets, software, vendors. I can even lock them out of doing the searches, the reports, and of course, we don't want to give them access to any settings. So that's how you put somebody into a role, and then you add them to a team. Once you add them to a team, you actually say what categories the team can see. So let's take facilities, for instance, because I do see a lot of customers on here that facilities is using it. You could create a team called facilities, categories that only the facilities team can see, and then add the members to that team. So when they log in, they won't see service catalog or reports or scheduler if you don't want them to. They'll only see maybe tickets. They won't see assets. So then they'll only see the categories of these right here, and they'll only be able to create tickets in those categories. And since we're talking multiple departments possibly could use the system, you still have email to ticket, and you can set up multiple email boxes. So IT can have their own, facilities can have their own, HR, GIS, whoever is using this can have their own. Then when you reply back to it, it doesn't matter which one is set up as the email notification. It might be IT, it might not, don't know. It'll automatically update the ticket with any notes from the end user or any attachments. I know in the old ones you guys have, attachments would not get added. That has been fixed in this system, so you will get replies, you will get attachments. So I'm going to scroll down here real quick and just go over some things that I need to straighten out with everyone so they understand. Okay, Dell Warranty. So anybody with Dell assets, you have to go to Dell's website, request from them a production key. They will not send you the production key. They will send you a testing key, a sandbox testing key. Hold on to that key and go ahead and plug it in and save it, but don't turn this on because we have it hardwired to go to their production website, not their sandbox website. So what will happen is it would fail. So what you have to do is get the Dell API, tell them after about 2 or 3 days, hey, it's working, we want to go production with this. They will then promote your key to production. You can turn it on and save it, and then your Dell warranties will start coming. So that is one thing you guys will need to be made aware of. And assets, really nothing changes, so we're not going to, I'm not even going through that kind of with you today. We'll discuss that individually. Active Directory. So I have a question right here. Does the new SC support Windows log on or automatic log on based on the credential the user logged on the PC with like the old website did? The answer to that is no. So, workarounds. What's going to happen? User's going to come here. This is where they're going to see. They are going to have to log in. You're going to put your logo, your information all up here. So whatever you want this to say, you guys get to design. So if you want that to be instructions, hey, enter your computer's username and password, you can do that. Now, there is some talks, because several of you have asked for this already, for single sign-on to be added back. They are looking at doing it. It's not anything that's going to be done anytime soon. So just wanted you to know that up front, and I'm not guaranteeing it will be done at all. But there is talks about doing it since so many of you have asked. So currently we would need to log in like this. That will take them to a dashboard. However, if let's say you only had one form, or maybe like I have a school system who has ITM Facilities. So what they will do is they only have 2 forms. They took the link for the form, copied that, and that is the shortcut they created on the end user's desktop that says Help Desk. So when they click on it, it automatically goes to the login page, they log in, and then it automatically opens this form. You can do that yourselves. So that should take care of any login issues. I know it could be 2 steps instead of 1, but you can still drive them to the appropriate location. So how you do that is up to you, but that can be done. How does licensing work? Just like we went through a minute ago. Everything's done online. I said it, you just click revalidate. No longer do I need to call you and get a DAT file from you, update a file, send it back to you, show you how to run as administrator, install the license, and then if there was a bug in it, like there was an old one, go adjust the contact that got copied over wrong. So that type stuff has been fixed, and it's all done online now. And we do them all by the year, so I actually know when everything's going to expire, so I don't have to worry about people getting shut down. It can be a matter of 30 seconds to have you right back up. Somebody just asked me, my side agent's different than yours. That's right, because 167 is the released version. If you scroll over, I'll show you. Side agent here. It'll take a second to open up. He's always slow. We don't do a warm-up on this page, guys. That's why it does take a second to open up. Plus, my server's a little bogged down right now. So, all right. So if you scroll over this, you'll look down here at the bottom right here. It'll say 167. So that is the released version. 168 is my testing version. So that's why you have 167, and that's why I have 168. So when it's released, yours will auto update. You will not need to worry about that. All right, so our next question. You said you could hide tickets from users. Can you do the same for technicians and force them to work entirely off the service catalog? No, not currently. But this is a good point to show you guys this. I know this person asked the question's already been on here, so he knows where to go. So if you want an enhancement, we do have forum.bosssupportcentral.com. Their feature requests, bug reports. If you will go here and submit these, some of these are already being added. See, there's the single sign-on that we've had asked about. Hide this, visibility, open tickets past due widget. So some of these bugs have already been fixed. Some of these enhancement requests are already being added. So if you will go out there and add that to the forum, that way the developers are getting this notification and I can follow up on it with them. Now, not always will I respond right away to it because I don't know what their response is. So it might take a day or two or maybe even a week before I get an answer from them. Then I will put that answer out there on the forum for everyone to see. But please use this. We are going to start using this and the ticketing system out on that we have for you guys to be able to create tickets in our system for support calls. So our old system is no longer around. So if you try to go there and create a ticket, not going to happen. So just wanted you to know that up front. So our next question, when will we be able to delete users and assets? That is actually on the backlog list, so that will be coming in the coming weeks. Somebody said we will need single sign-on. Okay, we'll talk about it, so contact me on that one. How do you get rid of the boss logo from the sign-in screen? So what you do is you come in here to General. Now, the guy that asked this question, don't come in here at all. There is a bug right now to where if you don't have an external web link, it won't let you save. It wants an external web link, not an internal web link. Yours is on your internal site, so don't go in here and save this currently. They're already fixing that. That'll be out. It's supposed to be out today sometime. So they're adjusting that to where we can have an internal. But for those of you that want to publish this on the outside world, so your mobile app works out there, and so you can access this, you can do that still like you would normally through DNS or through your firewall, and then you can actually put the link in here so all your emails and everything's accessible from that. Now, to answer the question is, how do we change the logo? You'll notice the logos are right here. So you have choose file, choose file. This is the brand up here in this left-hand corner. This is for where the sign-on is. So you just choose that, update that information. Here's the welcome text. So this is what I have, Chris's demo server. That's what put my company name there. Welcome to. You guys can adjust whatever's going to be in there at any time, what you want. Somebody asked about HP warranty check. They're already working on it, but you have to get approval from these companies, and that's jumping through hoops. So as that time passes, hopefully we'll get on the approved list, and once that happens, they already have the code ready to go for it. Is it possible to create a ticket from an asset? Good question. So I'm going to go to an asset. I'm going to go to one of my little features. I like global search called online Windows searches. And then I'm going to come in here and let's go look for my new PC here. And we'll click on that and we'll go to tickets. And so we can link any ticket to it, but you can't create a ticket from the asset right now. So you would have to go to the ticketing system to create the ticket. And you could link it when you were doing that. Or if you found out that you needed to add an asset and you're in the asset section, you simply would choose what ticket to add it to. but currently you cannot create a ticket from an asset. But you could add that to the forum. All right. Can you create a custom field in a form that references the AD user listing? Well, I'm not sure why you would want to do that. The user is automatically going to be added into the ticket because they're the person logged in creating the information in the form. So the AD user's information is already going to be there. So first name, last name, username, that type stuff typically doesn't need to be added along with their email address and their phone number. Unless you're thinking in a different way that I need to know about. I know you've designed some special stuff over there, so that might be something you're doing. So we can talk offline on that, but that would definitely be something we could look at. Can you create a link form to print a document that need them to sign and return? Currently, no. So you'll want signature added to the form. I believe that has been added to the form. If you didn't do it already, I would definitely add that one. How do you deactivate a user that has left the company and been removed from AD? Well, you don't have to. What the system will do is it will take users that have been removed from Active Directory and it will archive them. So if you go to archived users, you should see those type of users. Now, the version you were on previously, the AD sync did not work properly, so that was not happening. However, the 167, 168 site agent and 175 version of Support Central does do that. So it will auto archive them. And to go a little further, we will add the delete feature. So if you want to delete them, you'll be able to delete in bulk or individually. That has not been added at this time, but it will be added shortly. Okay, that's another. All of you people putting in here, we need single sign-on, we need single sign-on. Go to the forum. There is already one there, and like it. That way they get a gist of how many of you really want single sign-on. If we delete a user, does all their tickets disappear? No. You can delete a tech, you'll be able to delete a user, and it'll hold that table information. Now, you would not be able to type in that user's name and search history off of them because they would no longer be in the system. But the ticket will hold their values. Decommissioning or retiring assets that have attached items. Can you get a warning that there are attached items or ability to remove these attached items all at once? Currently, if there is an attached item, it will not let you retire the asset. It will give you a warning that you will have to go and remove the other attachments before you can retire that asset or archive it in that case. I do not know if you have the ability right now. Well, I know you don't have the ability right now to do them all at once. It would be one at a time. But it's a simple click, so it shouldn't take long unless you were talking hundreds. If you're talking hundreds, then I could understand having a bulk, but if we're talking 5 or 6, I think that just the one click, 5, 6 clicks, not too bad. But we can look at that, of course. Need to create in the current system, you can't create a ticket from an asset either. So you can put that on the forum. That would be an enhancement, but currently the only way to do it would be to come in here, create the ticket, and just choose the asset field, which is right here, and choose the asset, which will drill down. So if I wanted to go to any of these, I could choose that simply like that. But you can't put that on there, create ticket from asset in reverse. They already have the link. I don't think it would be too much harder to add create, but I can't do it. All right, can you show a routing rule for escalation to the manager of a particular team? That has not been added yet. So that piece is on its way. Right now, it's only to a team, to a technician now, you will have managers added in this section. That's already been a request, I think, out on the forum too. How do you add a technician as a watcher? You just simply go inside the ticket and add them as a watcher. So if we go to tickets, click on the ticket, add a watcher, whoever it is. So if I wanted to add Maha as a watcher, done deal. Any technician, any user can be added. Can you provide the link for the forum again? Yes. Right here it is, forum.boss. That's 3 S's. So boss is there, one word, and then support central, but they're combined together, .com. Can technicians be placed in several teams? Good question. The answer is yes. You could do it in the old system, and you can do it in the current system. So in your teams, if you wanted to assign somebody to multiple teams, then you can do that. That's not a problem at all. Can assets be tied together, i.e. keyboard and mouse or PC? Yes. So you can do that inside the assets themselves. Like this right here. And this is how you unlink them. So tying it is in here and taking it away is also in here. Will the help desk system recognize and automatically an asset used to be created in the ticket? Okay, yes. No, it does not automatically. The user doesn't even have that field anymore. However, I've asked them, because we had a request from one of the other customers, to not possibly do the host name or the name of the computer, because some of you have DNS issues or your DNS doesn't scavenge in the appropriate time, so we could get a misrepresentation. So what I've asked them to do is inside the ticket itself, show you. We already know who the user is and their email address and their phone number. So we've asked for an IP address of where it came from to be added. And Vishu has already agreed to do that. So that is on our what we call our backlog list. And there's about, I don't even know how many items on there right now. But that list is getting done right now. That's some things that will be added every Wednesday. So when it's going to be added, I can't really tell you that because I don't know where, how they're going to do it. It depends on ease, how easy it is to code in, and they'll do these little enhancements as we go. But you will be able to do that eventually with the IP address, not necessarily the host name, because we could run into an issue there. Can the watcher be set up on a category? No, it's only on tickets. You will be able to, you can't currently do it right now. There is a routing rule addition going to be made. So you will be able to add a watcher to a ticket on the fly. So in this case, you would be able to say this category, add this watcher. So you can't set up a watcher for a category, but you could set up a routing rule in one of the next versions that's coming in the coming weeks to add a watcher for a category. So that would be your workaround on that question. Is there a single line view of all tickets, open tickets, tickets by technician, like in the old version? You could do that in widgets. So if you'll put those widgets on your actual dashboard, then you could click on them and configure them and have them all. Unlike in the old one where you had technicians separated out, you can actually configure individual technicians to watch if that's what you wanted to do. There is something called like table view. which brings you here. They haven't added it like in the cloud yet, which would shift this out and show you the current ticket and then show all the tickets on the side. That piece will be added. But what I'm talking about doing is really coming in here to the dashboard and some of your things you're asking for, like open tickets. Well, here's open tickets for me. Here's open tickets due today. My open tickets, technicians tickets, anything you pretty much want is in here, and you can click on it. So it takes you straight to that view. So instead of like in the old version where you had to drag and drop the different views, you actually can save your views and get to them faster now. Can you assign a watcher from a routing rule? Yes. Not right now, not in 175, probably 176 or 7 that's coming. Still not a single line though. No, I don't have single line view currently. Will it be obvious when a ticket has a task associated to it in the table view? I don't know how they're going to currently do it. They might do it more like the parent-child view where you have a plus, but yes, they will make it more obvious so you can see tasks that are associated. And then when they add the dependencies, that's what the big thing will be. That way you don't have tasks open before they need to be worked on. So the task dependencies will really eliminate a lot of the plus and minus view problems that the old parent-child tickets had. And I think that's all 26 questions. So, nope. Once again, the recording's going to go out on our website. You'll send the link out. They will send the link out to everyone that's on this call. So if we have your email address, they will go ahead and send out the recording link to you. That way you can send it out to anybody inside the organization. All right, so what you need to do is, if you have it installed, you guys already know what you're doing, and you kind of now have a gist of how service catalog and categories work and stuff like that. If you don't, and you need to get it installed, well, then you need to get with me, and then we need to go ahead and get it installed for you and go through this process so we can start setting you up and getting you migrated over to the new system. Got some more questions coming in, so I'm going to just go ahead and click on our last screen so you guys can see that, because you know the boss man always wants everyone to show the user conference because he really wants to see your faces. But once again, HP warranty check is on the way. It's not here yet. Another question, can they include the link to the forum post? Can y'all include the forum? Yes. So yes, they will put the link for the recording and the link for the forum in your email. Thank you for the compliment. Is there a way to get a time frame on certain features? Well, tasks and approval we're going to have done before this users conference. So there's your May. We're going to have those done before May. Task dependencies, no, I don't have a time frame. I don't think they have a time frame right now. For routing rules, the little things like the add a watcher, little bug fix here, little bug fix here, little enhancement here, those are coming in the next coming weeks. Like I said, for the next couple of weeks, there will be an update every Wednesday. And that will allow you to get these little bug fixes and little feature requests that are easy to add but just have to be added. So those things will be added at that time. If you give me a sub list of what you're wanting time frames on, I can always submit it to the developers. That doesn't mean they necessarily have one. The things that are on the backlog list, those are coming weeks, so within 2 to 3 weeks. The things that I was describing, like tasks and approvals, those are a month out, I would say. Task dependencies, I'm just telling you about it. If you keep getting me in trouble where they want time frames on those type things, I won't be able to tell you about them anymore. So some things I can get you time frames on, some things I can't. Be patient with me on that. Will there be release notes? Yes. Finally, we will have release notes with every update coming out. They will be out on the forum. That's why you need to join the forum. I'm not going to be sending these out. I have too many people requesting them, and I just don't have the time. So I will be posting them on the forum, so you will be able to go there and get updates on everything that has changed. That will be bug fixes, that will be enhancements, and that will be started next week. And the person that just asked who's going to win, the Braves or the Cubs, well, the Braves, of course. And that should do it, unless anybody has any more questions. I will probably stop this and go ahead and get the recording going, and we'll get it out on the website. So I'm just going to hang on here. Would we be able to copy over some tickets for a time frame, like January 1st? Yes. Migrating tickets is not a problem. If you want to migrate all tickets, last year's tickets and this year's tickets, just open tickets, just this year's tickets, I can do it all. So not a problem what you want to migrate. Once again, if you don't have to, I would advise against it, but I know some people do want to at least import this year's tickets. Now, what we will do is, if you redesign your service catalog, so your catalog for where your tickets go, not for the end users, then what we would do is design like a bucket to drop them all in, something like that. But you can tell us what you want to do. We'll show you the migration tool, show you the capabilities of it, and then we'll make decisions from there. But we'll do whatever it takes to get what you want over, and there will be nothing associated with that as far as costs go. All right, and on that note, I'm going to end this call, but it's nice. I'm glad to have so many people join today, and we look forward to seeing you at the users